We're coming up. We're coming up. We're coming up. And let me make sure I hit the record.
Happy Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to the Intervision FM universe. My name is Alan Colvin, and we got Johnny Johnson, president and station manager of Intervision FM. You joined us on the Intervision FM universe, www.innervisionfm.com. Today, we're going to talk about NWA, folks. You know who NWA is? We'll tell you. These and other topics on the Intervision FM podcast. And that's who we love and that's who we serve, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're in chapter 4 of 1 Thessalonians.
How dare you?
We dare every day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Godfather Soul James Brown, I tell you, this business is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown saying stay with it and hit it. Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Now, did I unmute myself?
You are unmuted?
Yes, okay.
How dare you?
All right. Oh, okay. Let's get down. Let's put down the music there. Okay. No, I put NWA because like when they made that movie, the reason they wrote the song "F the Police" was because of like just the harassment they were getting, whether they were artists or whatever. Everybody, they were put in this certain category, and the cops just treated everybody the same as if you're a black young youth, you must be a gang member, and that wasn't necessarily so. And then they created the gangster music, whatever, which it started selling because who knows, it was just interesting to put that out there. So you think like 30 years later, they would say, well, maybe not every poor person in that community is a gangster. And maybe we should treat individuals and not treat them as a collective.
Social profiling and stereotyping is not a new thing.
No.
So if you're a certain color, absolutely, some folks will still profile your entire race. This happens within the blind community as well. If there are indeed musicians, which folks, we do support grassroots musicians, whether they're physically challenged, physically handicapped, or financially challenged, or both. So check out the website at www.innervisionrecords.org. It's a little long, www.innervisionrecords.org, and you can sign up for our newsletter. Now, I know what you're talking about. I mean, it's pretty intense being a blind guy, you being a blind guy. And good morning to you, Oscar. How you doing today?
Hey, Oscar, are you going to be able to give us like a weekend wrap up, saying that we now know who's going to be in the Super Bowl? And I heard some people were upset that they lit up the what's that? The statue that's in New York, the Statue of Liberty. They lit it up in the colors of the football team. It's going to be in the Super Bowl.
Whoa, that's cool. That's cool.
Man.
Usually they light it up, just with the regular colors for America, but that's interesting.
Yeah. So also being our sports and our Devil J.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, now I can.
Yep,
Yeah,
we got
now
you.
I can.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
well, yeah, definitely. So the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes was able to silence the critics and beat Joe Burrow for the first time. And then, of course, we saw Brock Purdy get hurt in the game against the Eagles and the 49ers. So the 49ers couldn't overcome all those injuries.
Was
So
that
the
an
Eagles
elbow? He hurt his elbow?
Yeah, he hurt his elbow.
Okay.
We also in the NFL news saw that the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys and Kellen Moore mutually decided to part ways. So the Cowboys are also in the running for a new offensive coordinator. So that is the
Wow.
NFL wrap up
Wow.
for now.
Wow.
So
A lot of
Who's
stuff is
going to the
going
Super
on.
Bowl? Do we know yet?
yeah, we got the Chiefs and the Eagles. Super Bowl 57.
Sweet.
It,
Super
it
Bowl.
actually is an interesting fact. Andy Reid, the coach of the Chiefs, his story will come full circle because he is actually gonna face the team that hired him, and he was with the Eagles about maybe a decade and a half, and he's been with the Chiefs 10 years now, but he led the Eagles to many championship games and always came up short. So he gets a chance to face his former team in the Super Bowl. So his story will come full circle. Super Bowl 57.
Wow.
Sweet.
And I think Brianna's going to be doing the halftime. And for some reason, there's well, I hope there's no clothing malfunction. But that was so long ago with Janet Jackson. Once it's been done, it's not going to be done again. You would think.
Yeah. I mean, the halftime shows are not like all that, in my opinion. Just a nice concert, I guess.
A mini concert, yeah.
Yeah, like a mini, like maybe 5-10 minutes at most.
Right.
I just hope that there aren't any power outages like there was in San Francisco like 10 years ago. So
10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was a power outage. I mean, what was up with that? Was it like raining or?
no? So from what I heard that they used, I think it was Beyonce that year, that they used a lot of lighting for her halftime show. And during that Super Bowl, the power just went out and the game had to be suspended for I think like maybe 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
And wasn't it one game that Prince was doing it and it was Purple Rain and it was raining and he said, "Hey, I'm with the show"?
Don't know. Don't remember.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I just remember like little tidbits like that, But anyways, it's like, and I guess my wife she likes it, and we got this big screen TV, so I mean it's almost like we're sitting in a theater watching it. So so on the 12th, we'll watch it just because she likes watching those tight ends and all those. She's into football, so whatever.
Gentlemen, PayPal.me/Intervision Denver is the way that you can donate to help us out. We are listener funded, and we do have a few sponsors, one being Colorado Arts Relief Fund. They help us out with the promotion of grassroots musicians. Those of you who may be listening that are also recording artists, we can help. The Denver Arts Relief Fund and Eeny Meeny Grants. Those are two others that came on, and a longtime sponsor of Christian Brothers Moving Company. They're based out of Inglewood, Colorado, Phoenix, Arizona, and also they're in the great state of Texas. Folks, hit them up. They're a little in need of some help because, well, they're a small business and they were a little slow this last year, but anywhere you'd like to move in the nation, they can help you. So check out Christian Brothers Moving Company. And if you want to become a sponsor, hit us up at info@intervisionfm.com and let us know via email. And you can also let us know any topics that you'd like to see covered on a future show.
Yeah. Hey, I want to mention this guy who was with Motown back in the day, died at the age of 81. I forgot his name, but he wrote the song Papa Was a Rolling Stone, War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Then he wrote Just My Imagination by the Temptations and just a whole slew of other like psychedelic songs and political songs during that era. So 81 years old, and you can look it up. I just didn't get the name. I think his name was Bobby, but I don't quite remember, but he was with Motown. So anyway, everybody's getting older. These guys are legends in music. They're checking out one by one, and then we're creating some new legends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Over the month of January, we have indeed lost quite a few recording artists and musicians. And so we just want to lift up their memories in passing and pay our respects to, gosh, man, you sent me this email on the 12th of January, something around there, and it detailed a whole bunch of folks that I was like, what? Oh,
yeah. So, yeah.
But, I guess the bottom line being you never know how much time you have. Live well, love your neighbors as yourself, and just try to unite as much as you can with your fellow human being, and just lift each other up, folks. You just don't know how much time you've got.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so I gotta stop that word. So remind myself, no more. So there was I was thinking about this incident. Yeah, it was crazy. But when I was listening to the guy, it was almost like, well, that the initiation of gang members, they about 20 guys get around you and they beat you up, and because they want to see if you could, if even if you get beat up, if you're not gonna, say, hey, I'm gonna rat on this person or that person.
Right.
And as the police were doing what they're doing, it almost sounded like he was sort of like joking with them, like, all right, guys, all right, and then maybe, I don't know, being in that situation, I don't know if I would ask the police, like, I wouldn't know if I would say, I didn't do nothing. Okay, if you didn't do nothing, and those words kind of make me curious about, like, why are you saying you didn't do nothing? If you know you didn't do nothing, just say, okay, we're going to handle this in the court. Handcuff me, put me in the back of the police car, and we'll handle this. We'll handle this in the court of law. And then for him to call for his mommy, like when I was 29, I'm kind of thinking, because I've been in fights, but the last thing I would think of is calling for my mother. Oh, see you later, Oscar. So I don't know. It's just all this stuff. I just don't understand. And I guess it would be cleared up in a court of law, because there was what happened before they pulled him out of the car and all that good stuff would be somewhat essential, because as we heard with Floyd, we heard that, okay, before he was trying to pass his $20 fake bill. Right. And before he was acting erratic because he was high, he was in the car with a friend, and the videotape, because the video cameras are all over, it caught all this stuff, but the only part we saw was the 9 minutes of the police knee on this guy neck.
Right.
But we didn't see all the stuff that led up to it. And of course, that made the people emotional, and then they jumped in there and all that good stuff. And now they're saying crazy stuff like white supremacy, and these are all black guys. So I'm not sure how that fits in there.
Right.
And so I don't know. It's just some questions I have. And ladies and gentlemen, burning up your own neighborhood is never a solution.
I've never understood that, Johnny. I mean, why would one want to destroy their own things, their own property, their own community areas?
Well, you just said it. It is in their own property because it's housing, right? It isn't like it's probably a Section 8 or subsidized. So maybe because it's not yours, you don't have the same respect as if it was yours.
That's actually a very valid point, because obviously if you pay for something and you work for something, mm-hmm. and you buy something, you're going to own that and you're going to be happy. Mm-hmm. This particular society, which we now live under, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Right. So you're Section 8s, you're on your subsidized incomes. You get food stamps. You get this, you get that. And
Mhm.
Big Daddy government just takes care of you right and left.
Mhm.
And then some of that gets taken away and
Yeah.
given to,
And you decide they're not giving me enough money. So
Right.
what can I do either illegally or sometimes legally to earn more money than the government is giving me? And I know people like this. I got my son-in-law. I mean, not my son-in-law, my stepson.
Mhm.
He gets paid under the table.
Sure.
Works at a piece of place, and he gets paid on the table because he doesn't want it to affect his Section 8.
Yeah.
So he's doing something legal, right? Working as a manager as a pizza place, but he doesn't want it to show up for his taxes. So when he does his taxes, or in that case, he doesn't do his taxes, it won't show up, and he keeps his Section 8, which is nice. It's a nice backyard, and that they have. I went over there and for his birthday, and it was a nice picnic, and
Mhm.
grass, and just nice, nice situation. And sometimes you learn how to get around the system, and we're going to have a lot of people getting around the system with all these millions and millions of illegals coming in. Do you know that once you get your registered for a license, you automatically are registered. So therefore, when they send out the ballots, they don't care. The Democrats in these democratic sanctuary cities, they don't care if you're not illegal, because who's checking?
Right.
So it's like this whole illegal system is set up, and the government knows they're not giving you enough money to really survive. And being a young 28, 29-year-old person,
Yeah.
you're going to want more than maybe a senior citizen. You're going to
Yeah.
want more than maybe a 12-year-old or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm looking at all these sides of it, and I still think like, man, I'm kind of think all the times I've been in fights, I've never called for my mother. So I'm gonna, that keeps sticking in my, both men did that. And I think Floyd, he calls his girlfriend mama, which is like, it sounds like a Mike Pence kind of thing. They say Mike Pence calls his wife mama or something like that, or mother, or something like that. So I'm kind of
You
figuring
guys want to know
what's
something
up with that?
absolutely? You guys want to know something absolutely hilarious in the Intervision FM universe? I got a
Uh.
friend of mine, and she happens to call me mama sometimes.
What? She calls you mama, not daddy?
She calls me mama, folks, and I don't know why. We got to figure that out, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, paypal.me/Intervision Denver is the way to help donate. I think I already mentioned that, but
But you're missing
I'd
it
go
again,
ahead
yeah.
and do that again.
Hey, but I get, man, I one lady, she says, she called me daddy, and I say, hey, I have no imagination of ever sleeping with my daughter. And for you to be calling me daddy, it's just not happening here,
Oof.
And so I had to correct her, because I said, you got a daddy, and I'm not that daddy.
Right.
And even if I was your daddy, I wouldn't be doing what we're doing here.
I've always wondered why that happens. So NWA, they went ahead and they wrote the police song, and they were very popular back in the early
80s,
90s,
early
80s,
80s, and
yeah.
And
so
I was living in LA during that time. I wish I would have met those guys.
Oh wow.
But but it was really weird. Like in the movie, the cops, the police didn't want them to do the song at the concerts, and
Right.
I don't know if it was Drake or was it Eazy-E said the police don't want us to do the song, but we know that you want it, and then they raised their finger, and then they said,
Yep.
F the police, and then it went into the song, and then the cops, they rushed the stage, and they put him in a paddy wagon and
Right.
and arrested him for singing a song, F the police.
Yeah, both Easy and Dr. Dre were they would interchange that that sentiment. It is very interesting, and
Hmm.
we do support
Yeah, we
we
support the
do
blue.
support the police. We do
Yeah.
support the I want to say boys in blue, but that's not right. We want to support the boys, men and women, non-gender specific individuals in the blue uniforms that are there to serve and protect us, folks. I mean,
Oh,
without those
I think they're
folks,
coming to get.
everything.
I think they're coming to get me.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway.
thing would descend into chaos if we didn't have police, folks, and if we didn't have our civil servants that are there to serve and to protect, we wouldn't have firefighters.
When did
Wouldn't
they
have.
change the name from peacekeepers to um, law enforcers?
Yeah,
So it was almost like that change. The Democrats, the Democrats changed the name. Instead of peacemakers, they became law enforcers, which is two different connotations between those two names.
absolutely.
And those names do make a difference between how you perceive police. And is this wow? I'm got to figure out who's calling me. Hey, continue on, Alan, with that.
Well, basically, so in the 80s, there were a lot of rappers that were making their bread and butter off of creating songs that were either a little bit harsh on women or a little bit harsh on law enforcement. Today, we're just reaping the results of the messages that were propagated by the folks that were looked up to back in the 80s. That's probably not all of their intention, meaning that if the recording artist or rapper decided to write a song about F the police, they wanted to bring attention to that 1%, the percent of the
Mhm.
uh, basically they would be the bad apples. The other 99% are good, and but
Yeah,
yet it's
yeah,
difficult to stand up against your fellow brother and sister and say, hey, these
yeah,
guys are doing bad things, because
yeah.
they're your brother, they're your sister. You're out there on the beat day by day,
Mm,
week by week, month by month, and you got a good friend. Say me and
mm,
Johnny are out there on the street and we're doing our
mm,
job, and day by day, week by week, month by month, and let's say I get a little bit crazy. Well, my buddy Johnny, we've had history together. We've worked together. We've done a beat together, and we've taken down bad people. We've put them into places where they can get the help they require. But let's say hey, let's say I get on the take, and things happen to where I kind of bend the law a little bit to suit me. Well, I suspect that Johnny, because he's worked with me, he's not gonna want to turn me in. So
mm.
the people in blue stick together. Uh,
Right. And because and if you go out and you always want to have that backup. It's if you need backup and that person is on duty at that time, and that person said, "Well, oh man, he got me written up."
that's right.
Maybe they won't show up to back you up, and there you are in a situation where you needed backup. And this
Right.
guy, he had a bad day or bad night, and he went rogue. But I wish it was something universal where if a bad cop left one precinct, that he couldn't go to another precinct and continue that rogue thing, right? I think that there'd be something. It should be a universal like register where a bad cop can't go from this place to that place to that place.
The interesting thing is with the development of artificial intelligence and artificial general intelligence, I believe we're going to see a shift of the law enforcement to machine. So basically, what you'll have is not RoboCop per se, where they've got a biological component, but I'm talking about a fully automated machine programmed with our laws,
Mhm.
a fully automated machine that's programmed with our justice code. And they basically go out and they make the arrests. They do the things that are necessary to take down the criminal. I do believe that eventually it'll probably end up being just like that.
Yeah.
And
Also, the mother, she put up a GoFundMe. It's almost $1 million, and it's almost sound like the well, the Floyd thing wasn't as brutal as this one, but I hope that when we see the pre-video, that it's not something that if we would have saw the pre-video, we would have known that. But the lady who was in charge, she fired him. They cut out the group called Scorpion, which, hey, that's the name of my favorite band. I don't know. They got to give it a different name than Scorpion. So,
Right.
so she's getting the funeral expenses taken care of, which he probably had no, 29 years old. You're not thinking about, putting insurance on yourself or anything like that. And I don't know how the insurance is with the cars and stuff like that in that place. But I don't know, man. We're gonna find out more, especially when these guys' trial comes up, and then more is released. I'm just glad that there was no craziness with violence that happened over the weekend. And as you know, that these neighborhoods, these poor neighborhoods, are already a desert, grocery wise, a desert job wise, and Lord knows they don't need to be any more of a desert. As Antifa and Black Lives Matter, they go in there and they destroy the neighborhoods. I'm just glad that they didn't raise their ugly heads and enrage these people to destroy these neighborhoods this time around. So hey, so anyway,
main thing is don't give in to provocateurs. Joe Biden did have this lady up there at the White House to kind of help out with stuff. If you like these kinds of topics, we do cover them from time to time. And don't forget that we do promote grassroots musicians as well.
yeah. So we will see. Oh, Wednesday, we're not gonna be here, but we're probably gonna pre-record a show to go on for Wednesday. I'm gonna be at this the seminar. It's gonna be from 9 to 5, and then I'm going to another seminar to meet with people that are angels and funders, grant funders from that goes on from 5 until 8. And then there's gonna be another event, which I don't think we're going to go to. It's going to be live DJs and all that kind of stuff, a mixer. So I'm probably not going to go to that one. But
Wow, you got a full day on
it's gonna be a
Wednesday.
full day. So we'll pre-record a show on a topic concerning music or musicians or podcasters and something like that to give our people some education there. But tomorrow we will be here with a brand new, fresh show. So hey. Well, what can I say? I mean, it's I guess it's all good. And thank you for being here, Alan.
Yep, God bless everybody. Thank you, Oscar. And you guys all have a great